Alright, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and I'm always happy to see producers that make great Pinot Noir. And Norman Yost does just that with his Flying Goat label. A lot of fun with the label here too, and the name. You know, and he worked for Bill Foley, and man, he knows the vineyards of Southern California pretty damn good. I'll tell you, he has got some of the top vineyard sites that he is getting fruit from for his tiny production wines. He makes less than 300 cases of a lot of these wines, very reasonably priced to me for what they are. The Pinot Gris from Sierra Madre Vineyard in the Santa Maria Valley was up first. It's a very famous vineyard, one of the oldest vineyards in this part of California. And he uses 9 different vineyard sites to make his wine. This wine is more of an Alsatian style, thus the name Pinot Gris. And it's got a lovely Asian pear, white peach, white apricot-like fruit to the nose, notes of white flowers, and kind of wet stone-like minerality. This wine sees 4 to 5 hours on the skin, so you get a little bit of skin contact, but he's moved that up with new releases to about 24 hours to get a little bit more extract out of the wines, like they do in Alsace. This wine's a bright and fresh wine on the tongue, the nice hand of minerality, white floral notes to that pear and peach and apricot fruit, lovely balance and a lovely zest to the finish. Excellent juice at $25.50. The Pinot Noir Why Not from Santa Barbara, which is a blend of Santa Rita Hills and Santa Maria Valley fruit. Pretty much it's all the different single vineyards that, don't make it in the single vineyard designate bottlings go into this wine. This wine's a really lovely, fresh style of Pinot Noir with flowers, red berry, strawberry fruit, a hint of brown spice, and light smoke. They only made about 250 cases of this wine in the 2011 vintage. Like I said, a nice zesty wine on the tongue with that lovely red berry fruit, pretty floral notes, just a touch of fresh earth here. A really easy drinking style, a very good Pinot Noir at $33. The 2008 Salisbury Vineyard from St. Louis Obispo. This one's got a little ocean influence to it. It's just outside of Pismo Beach, and a little darker berry fruit, pretty floral notes, spice, a bit of an earthy character coming out, and a little vegetal note there, which, well, a lot of times that means negative, but just a little bit. A little green vegetal note is not bad as long as everything else is in proportion, which it is here, and lots of concentration and richness on the tongue, zesty spice, that slight briny nuance here showing because of its proximity to the ocean there, and lovely structure in this wine, zesty black raspberry fruit, and a host of spice, and a little bit of vegetal nuance showing through on the finish. What I loved about these wines, they're all distinctly different, and that is Pinot Noir, a study in terroir, Pinot Noir being such a light and elegant grape. The 2009 Flying Goat Pinot Noir Clone 2A from the Rio Vista Vineyard, and they get 4 different clones from this vineyard site. This one tends to have more pure fruit, sour cherry, cranberry, a warmer climate. This is the last vineyard that they pick. It's a Swiss clone of Pinot Noir. It has more of a raspberry coulis-like fruit to me on the nose. Notes of exotic spice, a little bit of fresh earth, and a little bit of animal, kind of savage notes. Note of dark spices to that dark cherry, raspberry fruit on the tongue. Smooth and silky texture here. This wine's got a good amount of oriental spice and potpourri of floral notes on the long, spice-filled finish. Excellent juice here at $50 a bottle. And then the Pinot Noir Bien Nacido. This is the first vintage that he's worked with this famous vineyard, and one of the most famous vineyard sites for Pinot Noir, and one of the oldest also in the state. And this is all Martini clone, and it's on its own rootstock. You don't see that very often in California. A good amount of spice on the nose, compelling black cherry and black raspberry fruit, very exotic and nuanced bouquet, the richest, I think, of all the wines on the nose. This wine had lovely intensity on the palate too, plum and cherry fruit with silky velvety texture, lovely concentration of fruit, spice, and really lovely richness on the palate here. Lovely silky, velvety, smooth texture, little minty notes on the finish. Very long, most excellent juice at $60.75. And then the Rancho Rosa Vineyard from the Santa Rita Hills. This is clone 667. The clone after 666? Anyways, we're not superstitious here at the Wine Watch. This is Bill Foley's property. As I mentioned before, Norm used to work here, and he's one of the only people to get fruit from the Foley's property here. And this wine, it's got lovely richness, man. Wow, a bouquet of dark spices, earth, light smoky, truffly nuances here. A really complex array of aromas on the nose, and even bigger on the second day. Very thick and viscous on the tongue with almost like a liqueur-like quality to the fruit here. Really juicy. And this was a 2008 vintage also, so showing a little bit of maturity, but still lovely bright fruit here. This wine has got a ways to go. Lovely balance, velvety tannins, an array of spice and floral notes. big, but still has lovely balance. Most excellent juice at 52.50. That's what I had to drink with Norm Yost from Flying Goat Cellars. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember,